If you're watching this today, take a slow breath with me. This is not a video about fear. It's not about blaming doctors, and it's certainly not about telling you to suddenly stop taking your medications. This is a calm, honest conversation, the kind you might have with a trusted doctor who's known you for years, or a wise friend who truly cares about your future. After the age of 65, the body changes in quiet but important ways. Your liver processes medicines more slowly. Your kidneys don't filter as efficiently as they once did. Your brain becomes more sensitive to chemicals that affect balance, memory, and mood. That means a medication that helped you at 45, or even at 55, can sometimes do more harm than good later in life. Many older adults take 5, 10, sometimes even more daily medications. Each one may have been prescribed for a good reason, but over time, side effects can quietly pile up. Dizziness, confusion, falls, memory problems, fatigue, and people often assume, well, this must just be aging. But very often, it's not aging at all. It's the medication. Today's video is about awareness, not alarm. We're going to talk about 5 common types of medications that research and real-life experience show can be especially risky after 65 if they're used long-term or without regular review. Important reminder, and I'll say this gently and clearly, never stop or change a medication on your own. Always talk with your doctor or pharmacist first. This video is meant to help you ask better questions, not make sudden decisions. If even one section helps you feel more informed, more confident, or more in control of your health, then this time together will be worth it. Let's begin with the first medication group. Sleep becomes more fragile as we age. Many people over 65 struggle with falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking too early. So it's very common for doctors to prescribe sleeping pills or for people to use over-the-counter PM medications that promise a good night's rest. Here's the concern. Many sleep aids, both prescription and non-prescription, work by slowing the brain. In younger adults, the body clears these drugs fairly quickly. In older adults, they can linger well into the next day. That's where problems begin. Common issues seniors experience from sleep medications include morning grogginess, poor balance, slower reaction time, memory lapses, increased risk of falls, especially at night. I once heard a woman say, "I didn't fall because I was clumsy. I fell because I was still half asleep from my sleep pill." That story is far more common than people realize. Many over-the-counter sleep aids contain ingredients that also affect memory and confusion, especially in older brains. These drugs can increase the risk of delirium, especially during illness or hospital stays. Even prescription sleep medications, when used long-term, can make natural sleep worse over time, reduce deep restorative sleep, increase dependence. The difficult truth is this: medication-induced sleep is not the same as healthy sleep. Now, this doesn't mean no one over 65 should ever use a sleep medication. Short-term use, carefully monitored, may be appropriate in some situations. But if you've been taking something for sleep for months or years and you're feeling foggy, unsteady, or forgetful, it's worth a conversation. Gentle alternatives many doctors now encourage include improving sleep routines, adjusting light exposure, reviewing caffeine and alcohol timing, addressing pain or anxiety in safer ways. Again, don't stop anything suddenly, but do ask, is this still helping me or quietly harming me? Now let's talk about the second medication group that deserves careful attention after 65. Anxiety doesn't disappear with age. In fact, many older adults experience more anxiety about health, finances, independence, or losing loved ones. For decades, certain anti-anxiety medications were commonly prescribed because they work quickly and make people feel calmer. And yes, they can feel like relief. But after 65, these medications can come with serious risks, especially when taken regularly. In older adults, these drugs can slow thinking, affect coordination, increase confusion, raise the risk of falls and fractures, and worsen memory over time. Many people don't realize that these medications can stay in the body much longer in seniors, sometimes days longer, even at low doses. I want to share a gentle example. A man in his early 70s began feeling forgetful and unsteady. His family worried he might be developing dementia. After a careful medication review, his doctor noticed he'd been taking an anti-anxiety medication every night for years. Slowly, under medical guidance, the medication was reduced. Within months, his clarity and balance improved. He wasn't losing his mind. His brain was being slowed by a drug his body could no longer handle well. That doesn't mean anxiety isn't real or deserving of care. It absolutely is. But today, many doctors prefer safer approaches for long-term anxiety in older adults, such as gentle counseling or talk therapy, mindfulness and breathing practices, treating sleep or pain issues contributing to anxiety, medications with a safer profile for aging brains. If you or someone you love has been taking anxiety medication for a long time and notices increased confusion, sleepiness, or balance problems, it may be time for a respectful, informed discussion with a healthcare provider. Remember, this is not about blame. Medical knowledge evolves. What was once considered safe for everyone is now understood differently for aging bodies. And advocating for yourself is a form of self-care. Pain is one of the most common reasons older adults take daily medication. Arthritis, back pain, joint stiffness, old injuries, these are very real and often exhausting to live with. Many people are prescribed or regularly use certain pain medications thinking, if it helps me move, it must be good for me. But after 65, some pain medicines can quietly create serious problems, especially when used long-term. Certain common pain relievers can irritate the stomach lining, increase the risk of internal bleeding, raise blood pressure, stress the kidneys, interact dangerously with heart medications. The risk rises with age because the protective systems in the body become more fragile. A dose that once felt harmless can slowly lead to ulcers, kidney strain, or dizziness. I've heard seniors say, "I've taken this for years. If it were dangerous, I'd know by now." But that's the tricky part. Damage can happen slowly, silently, until one day it becomes a medical emergency. There are also stronger prescription pain medications that affect the brain and nervous system. In older adults, these can cause confusion, constipation, slowed breathing, increased fall risk, and emotional flatness. Pain should always be taken seriously, but relief should never come at the cost of independence or safety. Today, many doctors are shifting toward the lowest effective dose, shorter treatment periods, physical therapy and gentle movement, heat, cold, and targeted exercises, reviewing pain sources instead of masking symptoms. If you take pain medication daily, ask your doctor, is this still the safest option for me at my age? Is my dose appropriate for my kidneys and stomach now? That one conversation can prevent years of quiet harm.
Heartburn and reflux are extremely common as we age, so it's no surprise that many older adults take daily medications to reduce stomach acid. At first, these medicines can feel like a miracle. No burning, no discomfort, better sleep. But when used long-term, especially without review, they can cause problems that few people are warned about. Over time, reducing stomach acid too much can interfere with calcium absorption, reduce vitamin B12 levels, increase the risk of bone fractures, weaken muscle strength, affect memory and energy. Stomach acid isn't just there to cause discomfort, it helps digest food and absorb nutrients that keep bones, nerves, and muscles strong. I once spoke with a woman in her late 60s who developed unexplained fatigue and tingling in her hands. Blood tests later showed a severe vitamin deficiency linked to long-term acid-reducing medication. Once addressed carefully, her energy slowly returned. Again, this doesn't mean these medications are bad. For some people, they are necessary and life-improving. The concern is indefinite use without reassessment. Many doctors now encourage periodic medication reviews, trying the lowest effective dose, lifestyle adjustments like meal timing and portion size, avoiding lying down soon after eating, identifying trigger foods. If you've been taking reflux medication daily for years, it may be worth asking, do I still need this every day? Are my nutrient levels being monitored? Small adjustments can make a big difference. This section often surprises people the most. Some of the riskiest medications for seniors are not prescriptions at all. They're right there on the pharmacy shelf. Many cold, allergy, and nighttime products contain ingredients that can strongly affect the aging brain. In older adults, these medications can cause confusion, memory problems, dry mouth and eyes, constipation, difficulty urinating, increased fall risk. What's especially concerning is that people often take these medications without thinking twice because they're over-the-counter. A man once told me, "I didn't realize my nighttime cold medicine was the reason I felt foggy all day." These products often combine multiple drugs in one pill, increasing the risk of side effects and interactions. As we age, the brain becomes more sensitive to substances that block certain nerve signals. What once caused mild drowsiness can now cause disorientation or even hallucinations in some seniors. Pharmacists often recommend safer alternatives for older adults, but they're rarely asked. Before taking any over-the-counter product, it's wise to ask, is this safe for someone my age? Does this interact with my other medications? That simple question can prevent confusion, falls, and unnecessary suffering. If there's one message I hope stays with you after this video, it's this. Growing older does not mean growing weaker. It means becoming more selective, more informed, and more intentional. Today, we talked about 5 types of medications that after 65 can sometimes cause more harm than good if they're used long-term or without regular review. Sleep medications that linger in the body and increase fall risk, anti-anxiety drugs that can cloud thinking and affect balance, certain pain medications that strain the stomach, kidneys, and brain, long-term acid reflux medicines that quietly deplete nutrients, common cold, allergy, and PM products that confuse the aging brain. None of these are evil medications. All of them have helped people at certain times in their lives. The problem is not the medicine itself. The problem is when the body changes, but the prescription never does. One of the most empowering things you can do after 65 is ask for a medication review. Not because something is wrong, but because you value clarity, balance, and independence. You might say, "Can we go over everything I'm taking? Do I still need this at my age? Is there a safer option now?" Good doctors welcome these questions. Good pharmacists appreciate them. And if you're caring for an aging parent or partner, this conversation can be one of the greatest gifts you offer. Not control, not criticism, but careful attention. Let me leave you with this thought. Aging well isn't about avoiding every risk. It's about reducing unnecessary ones. It's about staying steady on your feet, clear in your mind, strong enough to enjoy the years ahead. Always remember, never stop or change a medication on your own. Always consult your doctor or pharmacist first.